Thanks for tuning into the Loss Prevention News Network. I'm Joe LaRocca, and my favorite dog is Mick, my golden retriever.
I'm Amber Bradley, and my favorite dog is my Schnauzer, Maddie.
And my name is Stuart Seidel. My favorite dog is Spot, a mutt.
My name is Lance Weeden, and my favorite cat is Vera and Wang.
That is
I needed to say those two names together.
awesome.
We
That
had
is
to totally
awesome.
get the All-Tag folks in here for our favorite pet rendition of Loss Prevention News Network. Thanks for joining us. You never know what you're going to find, really, when you tune in. Isn't that right?
That's right. Well, you know, we're here today to talk about traveling with your pet and how to buy a pet assistance license so you too can ride with your pet on the flight and let it jump all over the other passengers. And here is All-Tag to tell us how you go about doing it. No, seriously. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
We were just talking about some of our biggest pet peeves, travel hacks. But before we get to that, we have to dial it back into the serious realm. To first of all, thank you guys for sponsoring this digital conference from the D&D, which is first ever of its kind and continues into its 9th season. So we totally appreciate your sponsorship, but also talking seriously about how you guys are working with the industry and saving retailers labor hours. You're saving them time, you're saving them all kinds of things when it comes to source tagging. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, our real push for the company is source tagging, and it's working with the vendors of the retailer to be able to coordinate with them to make sure that the tags or labels are put on at the vendor source properly. And that's our whole push in the company, because that saves labor hours for the retailer. It also allows the product to be protected properly, that the retailer tells the vendor exactly where that product has to be tagged or labeled, and the vendor has to do it, or there's a chargeback if it comes in the wrong way. And so, we help coordinate between loss prevention, store operations, purchasing, and try to pull them all together to be able to institute a source tagging program.
Because what good are tags if they're just sitting in the back of the store and not on the merchandise?
Right.
Not much good.
Not much
No.
good.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yes.
And we also work very closely with the packaging integrators, the manufacturers. That's another key element, that they are on spot, getting the tags on right, on time, making sure that as the product comes in, it's 100% tagged. And back to Stuart's point, sporadic tagging just decreases the efficacy of the program.
Yeah, and timing is a big issue, as you guys are seeing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Time is money. Yeah,
And it's ready to display when it comes in. If most of the time, especially garments, have the price tag on it. They're ready to go out there, except for the anti-shoplifting tag. And what we're doing is providing the tag, getting it to their vendor, so they can put it on. So when it comes out of the box, it's ready to put on the floor. And it's not held in the back room for tagging.
And when you're working with companies that use a 3PL or just straight import goods, how do you handle that tag application with them?
Well, what we'll do, we'll work at any level in the U.S. or overseas to make sure that it's source tagged. And most of the time, the cost benefit is if it's done at an offshore manufacturer.
So the sooner the better.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And so the retailer, are you going straight to the manufacturer, or are you going through the retailer?
You have to go through the retailer.
Okay.
The retailer will set up the program, say where the tags have to be purchased from. It will be right on the purchase order for the garment or the goods that they're buying, and say this has to be put on, contact this vendor, this is the location where it has to be applied to the product.
Right. And then retailers, as they do their audits on receipt, are you doing audits in between to make sure these goods are tagged?
What we'll do in-store audits and make sure that they're being tagged and that they're using the right tag, they're putting it in the right place, and then tell the retailer if we see something that isn't tagged or the tagging's done improperly.
You're really making this so easy. It's so important to have that merchandise visibility.
Exactly.
If you have the tags on there already, you can see it at so many intervals of the shipping, supply chain, and right into the store. Tell me about the back end of that. Obviously, retailers are, while they may not be They might be challenged at applying tags to all the product. They sometimes are equally challenged at deactivating those tags on the way out. How do you educate customers, or what do you tell retailers in relation to tag pollution or some of the other challenges there?
That goes back to just good old-fashioned basic training with retail, making sure that they have the energy, the commitment, and the passion, which we do, and we try to work with them to make sure that those training programs are pushed out to their employees. And then our audits in-store also help uncover some areas where there's opportunity for improvement. We rifle that back up to corporate, and hopefully it makes a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
It would make it so easy, especially, I'm just thinking back to my Disney days and the way that we bring in so many goods from different places, and there's real disparity in how the goods are tagged. We did most of it at the store level.
Right.
So something like this would be incredibly beneficial.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about the NRF study recently, talking about how retailers are now having to invest in technology because they don't have the budget dollars for increased headcount. So that's good news for you guys from a
Right.
technology perspective. But I think you guys have stepped up to the hot table. So we've talked about a couple things. Now this is all about, we are giving some travel tips. That's the easy question. And then the other question is, what is so annoying about traveling these days? Because sometimes it could get a little hectic, especially in the winter when you're dealing with snow and freezing ice and all that good stuff, especially coming into New York City. But, so what, you can either, I'll give you the choice in the hot table here. See, I'm being nice. I'm getting nice
Good.
at my old age.
Right.
You can pick either giving a travel tip or one of the things that's just slightly annoying when you're traveling.
Well, I'll give one that's together for both, but get TSA pre-check. I mean,
Yes.
if you want a tip, that's the best thing. But the most annoying thing is that people who spend the time to get the pre-check and still go up there and take their shoes off, take their computers out, and the people from the TSA are yelling at them saying, no, you don't have to do that, and always holding up the line.
Yeah. Right.
That, why did you get the pre-check?
That's right. The random pre-checkers.
Right.
Because sometimes random folks get it, and then
Yes.
they don't know what
They
they're
don't
doing.
know what to do.
And you're like, all right, we got to make our flight because we said this off camera. This is the guy that your plane's waiting for because he's running in at the last minute, final call, right?
Right, yeah.
And then you're more of the early bird.
I love being early, and then I don't have to fight people like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's really mad
he's-
in the pre-check line because he's late.
Agitated, exactly.
All right, so you're going travel tip or travel annoyance?
Travel annoyance. People, I think, have to learn the law of physics and understand that certain size bags will not go up above over a seat.
Right.
And on top of that, trying to stuff a winter coat that's as big as a blanket from, Saudi Arabia that
Yeah.
will not fit up there.
Right.
So. it
So if
just-
you're
it
bringing
drives-
on a parka
Yeah.
from Saudi Arabia,
That's good.
you're going to need to hold that
They're
thing
to
in your
blame with
lap.
all of this.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love the businessmen, travelers. This is not a hate on that, but where they're taking off the suit jacket and they're folding it up all nice,
Nicely.
and they put it in the overhead like when it's empty.
Right.
I'm like, oh, dude, that's going to get
It's
crushed.
never
That's
gonna
cute
last.
and all, but
It's
I
cute
have
and all,
a suitcase to
but-
put up there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Unless we all team together and we've done the stacking, sometimes we'll all band
Oh,
together
see?
and we'll layer
That's
them.
good. That's like how chicks all band together to use the restroom together. It's all the same thing. We're checking each other's
No,
teeth
that's
in
really
there.
different, Amber.
No, that's the same.
It's different.
All right, so we've actually uncovered that Joe LaRocca here should write a travel tip book. I think we all can agree on that. So you have 10 seconds. Any other tips for our travelers out there?
Don't fly to LAX. Okay,
Don't
with
fly
that,
to-
we're
with
going to
that.
go ahead and wrap up this segment. Gentlemen, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
joining
you.
us. You can always follow us at D&D Daily on Twitter or follow Amber at
right.
My Calibration. We're turning it over to Gus Downing right now.